Welcome to a new update in which we're going to discuss the price action of Bitcoin, which after this correction into higher time frame resistance has been extremely boring. We've got into this higher time frame resistance during the actual presence of the FOMC meeting and Powell speaking. Since then, we've got a ton of rumors of negativity surrounding Binance. Well, today we've got some impressive new news coming out, and the new news that came out, we'll be discussing that next. But before we continue, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also check out our discount we have. We're going to launch copy trading in January, in which you are easily following our portfolios. We're going to do multiple portfolios, including my own, which is still up 10% on the month, while the markets are down a lot. So make sure to check that out. Also check out our free trade letter, in which we today discussed the macroeconomics and the markets to watch for the coming weeks. So make sure to check that out also in the description. When we're looking at the price action, we did see this, and the news that came out today are two things. One is that the Gemini case, there is some perspectives there in which they are probably going to do a tender offer on a part of the assets that they have in order to get everything settled. So that's a good sign. And then secondly, we also have the case of Binance, which, to silence probably the entire rumors of negativity, they are going to take over Voyager, which have 1.2 billion in assets. So that's positive. The markets, however, are still consolidating sideways, which we recall correctly from the previous periods as well. Where did we see this take happen below support? We did say this take happen here around 16.2. We see it also happening here around 16.8. And now we are once again consolidating beneath this resistance area. And the moment we are going to crack it, we are most likely going to continue moving towards the next area, which is at 17.3 to 17.6K here. In that regard, what you want to see is a case of the reclaim of 16.9. If that is not going to take place, I'll be watching 16.2 next, as that is the next critical support level that we should be facing, or that we should be looking at if we want to get any momentum going on the markets. Very simple price action, and you have to be patient. So what is the scenario that we could be looking at? We could be seeing a wick of the low reclaim, and then we start shooting back up, in which we get a runner towards 17.3 to 17.4. So in that case, you're probably looking for a trade to be made like this, in which you can start targeting any of these two levels and get a profitable risk reward. On the other hand, if we don't have this and start to fall deeper, which can still be a case, you can start longing around 16.2 yourself, and then have the target at 17.3 to 17.6, where optimally you can start looking for potential short opportunities. And then if you recall the video from yesterday, we discussed the potential case of bottoming for Bitcoin. I think that we can go sideways for a pretty long period, which we have been doing here as well. We had a pretty big breakout to the upside. We went sideways for weeks before we actually had some momentum going. It looks a lot like the same case here, in which we're just consolidating on support before the new runner can take place. And if we do, taking out this previous high, it's going to take out the next highs as well. So that's going to be relatively good for the markets at this point. And when we're looking at Ethereum, we've also been seeing such a period in October and November of sideways action before a breakout took place. Most likely we're going to do the exact same. So then the crucial area to watch is the area around 1110 that we should be holding. If we do and take out this high, we can start running towards 1680 to 1700, but it's all depending on what the Dow Jones and the S&P and the dollar are going to do. And as you can see, the dollar is looking like it's facing resistance, and the question is, are we going to break that actual resistance? If we do, it's going to be painful for the markets. Also, when we're looking at the weekly time frame, it's definitely sure that the DXY is looking like we're going to fall deeply again. It can be such a consolidation period like we see here in the middle, in which we just continue falling in the coming weeks ahead, and that can be done on Friday when we get PCE coming in. Dow Jones still consolidating here. Not too bad. It's plus 0.2% on the day. It's falling less than what we were expecting, as the Nasdaq is showing way more weakness in which it's making new lows and starts to fall down a bit more. So it's approaching support here and should be bouncing there if it wants anything to be done. If it's not going to take place, we are probably going to see new lows on the markets, and that's going to be terrible for Bitcoin most likely, as the correlation downwards is still relatively high. So what are we looking for when it comes to price action of Bitcoin? We are looking for a case that we crack 16.9. If we do, we can have continuation towards 17.4, 17.6, and potentially look for some short opportunities over there. If we don't have a case like that and we start falling, then we are looking at potential longs at 16.2, as that is a very important support level to get going. So that's the update for today. The big data is coming in from tomorrow, but the real big one is approaching at a later point this week, which is the case of the PCE inflation. Finally, if you're looking at altcoins are not looking too bad. They have been retesting the lows. They are reclaiming it now. This might be a potential trade opportunity. If we take out the highs, it can go really fast when it comes to the altcoins. So I'm definitely still looking at those and expecting volatility to kick in this week, especially since the negativity is slowly fading away as some positive rumors start to come up about Gemini and also positive rumors from Binance. I'll be back tomorrow with a fresh new update. Make sure to subscribe and like this YouTube update. Check out the discount we have if you want to copy trade my portfolio, and I'll be back later tomorrow.